What's up, Connor? My name is Will Hewlit. I'm going to do your breakdown here today. So we're going to go over a couple basic things in the throw. First off, you got a really good foundation to work from, man. So great starting point. All right, so I've got John Walford here on the left, longtime NFL vet. And I think this is a couple of things here we want to take away. So when we're really breaking down base throwing mechanics, we're looking at basically timing, sequence, and posture and how we sustain those things in the throw. And what I want to accomplish for you is give you the 1%, 2%, 3%, 4% improvements that we can make to make sure your throw is continuing to move in the right direction. So a couple things here. We're going to start off with just our pre-pass position and kind of ball carriage, general thoughts here. So in a traditional sense, you're going to see here with John, he's got the nose down, right? And what this does is it puts the trap, the elbow, and the wrist in a fundamentally sound position where we actually want to get that nose away on the take back, which you do. But you can see here there's a little break in the wrist where John is going to have a firm wrist. Now, where this becomes problematic long-term, because it looks like the ball spins out of your hand pretty good, it can create some ball flight issues if the wrist opens up too much, and this might be more problematic when you're a little bit stronger and more explosive. So don't necessarily think that's something you have to change right now in the season. It's something to be aware of. It's just keeping that flat, firm wrist position with essentially a more nose-down position in pre-pass. Okay, so as we move through this, what I'm looking for here, first off, is do the hips move first? And then when this lead foot hits the ground, where is this arm in relation to it in terms of timing? Okay, so we're going to move through here into foot strike, or technically heel strike. So that heel's in the ground. And your arm is in a vertical position, but it's pretty low. You can see this angle here is pretty compact. And again, not necessarily problematic. You're wearing pads, so it's a little hard to see how much room we have there. But for long term, we want to get that ball up probably a little bit higher in the backstroke. So you're going to see here with John on the takeaway, that arm position is a little bit higher up, right? He's got more of an angle here between the elbow and the torso. But what I really love about this move right here is that your hips fire with your shoulder staying closed. You can see your knee roll in a really elite manner. So this is a fantastic place to start. Okay, and now your arm is raising up a little bit, right? In the traditional sense, our takeaway, you've got more of a lift. And we want the takeaway to be representative more of a nose away to create scap load, right, into this vertical L position here, where you're going to go straight up into this L position at this point. The compromise you're making here is you're getting arm quickness over potential arm speed, which is going to result in a velocity loss long term. So again, in season, I'd be cautious of extending your takeaway at this point. And depending on your age, we want to have the strength and the foundation to be able to do this. But really great job with the lower body here. Okay, so let's take a look as we move into this lead leg extension and pushback. So your hips are square. We get great snap from the arm. So you're in a really great position here. Hips are square. We get great flexion and pronation. I would let your front shoulder roll into the throw a little bit more. You do a really good job of blocking your lead arm. You're going to see here with John in that extension of that lead leg, a snap. It's got just a little bit more shoulder roll towards the finish. And that's just allowing the arm to continue to accelerate and finish more across the body instead of straight down. Okay, so as we move into the back clip, you can see here how quick the backstroke is. And right now, it's forcing us to be probably a little bit lower than needed at certain times. This is not a bad arm position, but it's about being able to access a little bit more verticality in your throw when needed. You can see here with John, he's going to come up with a little bit more of a up and down forearm position. But again, what I love about this is just the hips firing. Now you're a little bit tight with your midline on that lead foot, so we probably want to get this lead leg a little bit wider. Okay, and then great extension, But again, let the throw finish. Let the shoulder roll around just a little bit more to get a little bit more extension and a little bit more finish. You can see with John, he's going to let that shoulder snap through, and then he just got the natural recoil back, which you have as well. Okay, so in conclusion with your throw, it's really a situation here where we just want to access more velocity and more power. You've got the base foundation of the sequence and the timing, which I really, really love, right? So things we want to work towards is maybe just a little bit more of a relaxed pre-pass position, okay? So on the take back here, more of a nose down, all right? Let this elbow move back a little bit further and a little bit high on the takeaway, all right? Higher on the takeaway. So you're going to see with John, he's going to have this flat, you could call it like a horizontal L position, where you're straight up into the vertical L. Now, this is something in season we want to be very cautious of how much we're adjusting. Okay, so play around with it, but I don't necessarily think it's a hard and fast change right now. After the season, I would work on this take back if it doesn't interfere with your in-season training. Lead leg, we got to step a little bit wider so we can let the hips clear. And then this allows us to access a little bit more arm height without getting the shoulder tilt, right? You can see here, boom, we've got the recoil against the hips. So overall, fantastic job. So in review, okay, relax the nose down. We want a horizontal L on the take back, okay, as that back hip fires. And then let that that throwing shoulder just go with the throw just a little bit more. Your ball flight is excellent, all right? So it's just about accessing more velocity and more power in your throw, okay? If you've got any questions, feel free to contact us back. If nothing's, there's a couple questions you have on this that doesn't make sense, or there's some questions about how to attack this. It's really just a positional change where there's no actual drill. A good way to do it is with the plyometric balls. Practice without a football into accessing that more of that aggressive scap load backstroke position.